So, film on masked wall here with another infusion. Just wanted to discuss some of the stuff I learned in class today. So, we learned a lot of stuff today. I guess TED Talk was very, I guess you could say, beneficial. It helped me learn a lot because the thing about things Cynic said about for a company and to develop a product and just to be an entrepreneur in general, you really have to know why you're doing something. And it's not about the what or the how, because that comes later, that comes through the why. And another thing I picked up on, actually another thing which is I actually use in a business that I'm working with, is the whole idea of using a why and just really using that to develop, your business and yourself. Because like I said earlier, people don't really buy what you have, they buy like why you do it. And when you know why you're doing something, then you're going to be doing something that you love. So like they say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. You know what I mean? And I mean, like I said, people don't buy, sorry, what is it? They don't buy why you do it, but even like your belief, or like why you do it, and what you do, actually serves an example of what you believe. So like, when you know why you're doing something and you're really goal-oriented, I realize that it helps you, like, even as a leader, even if you're like leading a team and trying to develop a product or push a product to the market, you need to know why you're doing something and why your product can benefit someone, and also why they would want your product. Just stating simply what they do and how your product does it is not enough. And another example that Kid gave in the thing in class was like TiVo, and it really made a lot of sense because it's really outdated and they didn't make a lot of money. All they did was say, this is what we do, this is how we do it, blah blah blah, buy our stuff. But like, when someone believes what you have, and when someone has a strong belief, they will be more inclined, to buy your product. And even people that work on the team with you, when they believe you and when they have the same beliefs as you, they'll like, die for your company, or they'll just, maybe not that extent, but I mean, if they're only working for a paycheck and you just want to work for money, things like that. But when you know why you're doing something, you'll attract people who have the same beliefs, and you'll probably, I believe that you'll achieve your goals better too. I guess another thing we learned in class was, I guess our presentation we had to do today was about products, building an attribute map. That actually helped a lot too, because it helps you understand how companies exceed and build like the latest things and things like that. And a lot of the attributes I didn't really realize until I did the research and I read the book, such as like how tolerables and things like that become dissatisfiers. Like, for example, so a certain aspect of your product that might be negative that people deal with, and still buy your product because it's a good product, can become a dissatisfier when a competitor points that out, and also is finding a way to avoid that problem. Like, for example, like we talked about in my class, the example we used was the iPhone. If the tolerable was the price, for example, it's like really expensive, then if a company offers the same product or very similar product for a cheaper price, it can become a dissatisfier. They can point out and say, you see, my product is $100 cheaper. So now people have a reason to go and buy their product over yours. And the thing is, if you don't take care of these problems, they can definitely become dissatisfiers. Like, tolerables can evolve into dissatisfiers, which companies can exploit, against you, and it'll put you at a huge disadvantage in the market. Also, another thing that really intrigued me was how things such as exciters evolve into non-negotiables. For example, one thing that boggled my mind, I realized over time, was touchscreen phones. For example, phones used to be, standard buttons, just call, hang up, and the numbers. And when the touchscreen phone came out, everyone was really excited about it. It was a huge exciter. But now, if a phone doesn't have a touchscreen, interface, a lot of people think that it's, slow or not up to date, things like that. It's literally become a non-negotiable. In smartphones, people always want a touchscreen phone. Like, having one's buttons, it just seemed like crazy all of a sudden, or something like that. But and like also how, like, for example, we evolved to, I guess, we can say how like the new exciter that we had for our project was the fingerprint scanner. I'm sure over time, like, sure, some phones are already coming out with that, we're already getting on top of that. I feel like soon, over time, that'll be like a non-negotiable. All phones need to have fingerprint scanners. How can you not have that? And it's just very interesting how, like, especially with tech companies in the new innovation age, a lot of companies have to, stay on top of that and keep pushing, and stay on top of the competitors, because people are always desiring new things or innovative things, and they always want to stay ahead of the competitor. Otherwise, you'll fail in the business, but in business in general. But those are some really key points to help me understand a lot of the topics and help me really, as usual, relate what I learned in class to the real world, and something that I can actually apply to the real world. And that helped me a lot. But yeah, as usual, it was a great class. But yeah, thank you, and goodbye.